It's been nearly a year since Murder Drones ended, and I've shared my thoughts on what the future looks like, but I thought I'd put them into a bigger video because I like the show and any excuse to ramble about it I'll take. I'm assuming you already know what Murder Drones is because you clicked on this video, but for those of you who don't know, Murder Drones is a show made by Liam Vickers and Glitch Productions. The show ended in August of 2024, and since then the only real content it's been given are merch ads. As I said, it's been almost a year now since the show ended, so how about we take a look at the future of Murder Drones and its fandom. I'm sure nobody has ever done this idea. Not at all. Makes sense we start by looking at what Glitch has done since the ending of the show, and what they'll be doing moving on, or what I think they'll do moving on. Since the show's ended, there's been a few merch ads, events, deals, and the Glitch In. The voice actors and animators still are working with Glitch on newer projects, but let's get the big thing out the way. Season 2. It's probably not going to happen. The chances are so small of a season 2 happening. A season 2 is possible, but doesn't have much reason to be made. The show ended in a fine spot. It had a decent ending, but still left enough open with a few questions that went unanswered. However, I don't think Murder Drones was made with a season 2 in mind. And for whatever reason, if Liam and Glitch wanted to do a season 2, they would need to wait quite a while, because Glitch wants to focus on their other shows first. They have the Digital Circus, which is a huge hit and great for them. They have the Gaslight District, and the first episode of that came out a few months ago. And they've got Knights of Guinevere, which they hope to release this year or next. A season 2 of Murder Drones just doesn't fit in and makes no sense to really be made. Glitch will probably just bring up Murder Drones in events, references, merch drops, and maybe some shorts here and there. I mean, shorts that are specifically Murder Drones focused. They'll show up in merch ad shorts, as long as there is more merch to sell, which is something I'm not sure on. We know there will be at least one more merch drop, because they need to finish the vinyl set for all 3 volumes of the music. But after that, I'm not really sure what they do with more merch. Don't get me wrong, there is a lot of merch that could be made. There's tons of characters that people want, like figures of. Thad, Khan, Lizzie, Maidsin, Tessa. I could see Glitch making another Animini set with these side characters thrown in just to please fans. The thing about the merch drops is they usually do merch drops around something else. For example, a new episode release, a holiday, or a collaboration. Like the most recent Murder Drones drop. It did come out after the show, yes. However, it also came around the time they had the Hot Topic stuff and Murder Drones getting on Amazon Prime. I'm really rambling on here. So, to shorten everything I just rambled about, I think moving forward, Glitch will mention Murder Drones in events, like Glitch X, shorts, references in different shows. They've already done this with the Amazing Digital Circus, and of course ads for when they do drop new merch, hopefully. They'll keep bringing it up to fans because, well, they have to. They don't want to just drop off one of their shows that still has fans who are watching the newer content and buying stuff. But hopefully it doesn't get to a point where it's just dragged on solely for merch sale products and just feels like every time they bring up Murder Drones it's because they want to sell something. The other official source we do need to look at is Liam Vickers, the creator of the show. Now, I want to do other videos about all his shows and maybe an overall thing on all of his creations once I've reviewed them all. I do have an Indonesian Cube video that I'm making. Anyway, Liam hasn't said much about murder drones, at least from what I've seen. He does have a Discord, and there is the glitch in where I think he's answered a few questions, but I'm not sure if any of them were on Season 2, or even what he plans on doing next. Obviously, if you want more murder drones like content, you can go watch stuff on his channel. Indonesian Cube, Cliffside, Scary Stories, Let's Split Up. There is a decent amount for you to work with if you want to go watch all those. And there's always a chance Liam goes back to work on his older projects or even something new. While this point was said way before Murder Drones was made, I think Liam would still say the same thing today. In a video about his Scary Stories channel shutting down, he said...
What's also canon, by the way, putting this out there, is that the story of Cali and Refnock facility has been told, but left hands are worldwide, and there's so many other facilities that exist with conflicts of their own, and if you feel there's a story to tell there, I think the world would really like to hear it. So, good luck. I'm cheering you on.
So I think he would believe the same with Murder Drones in, you can go out and tell your own story with what's been made here. You're free to create your own thing. Which actually leads us to fans. Fans can make their own stuff, and plenty already have. It's not hard to find Murder Drones fan content. You can literally look it up. There's art, fanfics, games, people making their own episodes and seasons. There's lots of fan content out there for people to enjoy, and this is most likely the future of the fandom. To no surprise, I feel this is what happens with most creations, I guess. The fandom will keep itself alive. For how long? Who knows? It's up to them. As long as fan passion is there, people will keep creating stuff they like about the show. There's obviously Reddits and Discords and all that stuff. You can find content and other people talking about the show, so if you want to find other Murder Drones fans or new Murder Drones projects, you have those. Some bigger projects off the top of my head is there's Murder Drones Intermission, which is a fan episode that's already made. I think it takes place between episodes 4 and 5. There's also things like Murder Drones Insecurity. There are lots of fan animations out there. There is lots of fan art out there, fan comics, fan this, that. There's even a guy making a real life Sin for some... I think he's making N as well. That's not going to come back to bite anyone. But yeah, there is so many fan projects. If there's any fan projects you're excited for or enjoy, you can leave them in the comments for others to find and maybe find somebody else to talk about those with. The future of Murder Drones is uncertain, but it will still go on for a while. Again, mostly driven by fan content. There obviously will still be official stuff here and there. I feel I'm repeating myself a lot, so to conclude this, what I think the future will be is mostly fan content. Obviously, you can still rewatch the show. Glitch will still bring out stuff about the show. For how long, I don't know. Hopefully a while. You can obviously go and watch other Liam Vickers stuff. There's plenty of content there. And I think that's pretty much everything I want to say. Final words. Subscribe for the Indonesian Cube video and stuff I'm doing. Feel free to look at some of the polls. I hope to do more of them and, give you guys some input on these videos. This video isn't the best, but I still had a decent amount of fun making this and rambling about murder drones. I hope you all enjoyed and that you're having a good day and all that. So in case I don't see you again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.